Good morning, this is Dave Lockwood. This is our daily vlog. We're in the middle of our season, and the amount of stuff that we're getting back to the shop is pretty, it's a lot of stuff. Yesterday we spent time, Logan's kind of taking some of the duties over from me because he's at the shop all day long as far as pricing things and keeping track of the guys and making sure everything's placed properly. We went through about an hour of that yesterday and helped him with some of the pricing on some of the cabinets, and we are getting a lot of really amazing stuff this year. It's very cool. I love it. It's I know I say this a lot, but it's like Christmas every day for us. So with the hurricane hitting, and this has been, it was let's see, September 28th, 2022. What happened is it kind of messed our market up, our normal flow of business. The reason is there are a lot of these condos that we work in, a lot of them are not even here anymore. They're gone. They decided they had so much damage that the insurance wasn't going to cover it enough, and they just tore them down and they're selling the land. And then there's the other ones that have had the new laws come into play in Florida for condominiums. So the way I understand it is every 25 years now you have to have a master inspection of your building, or I don't know what they call it, but basically a really extensive inspection. The other thing I heard was, and I heard this from several different places, so I believe it, is that they are not allowing the condominium associations to defer their maintenance anymore. So what happens, I've been involved in a couple condominiums, and what happens is they just keep passing the ball down the line to keep the condos saleable, to keep the condo fees down. So what they would do is they would do an assessment instead of increasing the condo fees. So what that means is a lot of times these buildings, they need a lot of work, and they have not done the work because nobody wants to have higher condo fees. And eventually these high rises, they need maintenance. They need to be taken care of a certain way so that they last. So from what I understand, the inspection, the 25-year inspection, is on the windows, the doors, the roof, and the structure. What happens for us is these condominiums, because of these additional rules, it's taken longer to get these condominiums back up and running. Well, a good portion of our business comes from the condominiums. Less than what we thought, because we're still busy as hell, but we're not as busy as we would be if all the condos were up and running. For example, we are tearing down 30 condos right around the corner from my house here. They'll never be back online. They're going to sell the property, 2.5 acres for almost $10 million. And it's about probably 300 feet, 400 feet from the beach. So what I'm working on right now is the job descriptions for the next location, and we're using that to take our job descriptions and make them, expand them, and make them more detailed for our current location, so that when we hire somebody, it's not as difficult for the new person to get onboarded with us, because they have a lot more detail. We have decent job descriptions, but I'm getting into really detailed day-to-day what you need to do and what to expect. And I can see where it's going to be very helpful. Again, this is stuff that we kind of knew, but was validated by our Hormozy class out in Las Vegas. Interesting little side note, one of the guys that was out there, I went to the bathroom and come back, and he's in the chair that I was in with my stuff in front of him. And I went over and said, hey, I was sitting here, and he looked at me like I was, an elephant or something. I don't know. So at any rate, the lady that was setting the room up ran and got me a chair and so on and so forth. I was pissed. So, but anyway, I saw him on YouTube yesterday, and he's dishing and acting like this Hormozy workshop was not beneficial. And the funny thing about it is this guy was on his phone the whole time we were there, and he wasn't paying attention. and just very arrogant young guy, like probably in his mid 30s, and just a real a-hole. I'm not going to tell you his name, but oh my gosh, I don't know. Let's see. The other thing that I've been working on is going back through the experts book with Russell Brunson again, and learning and applying the frameworks. So I'm really excited about where we're going with this. Logan's getting more excited. He's got a lot to do right now, a little bit more than normal, because we just hired a new warehouse person, and he's got to train them up. And then we're doing some different things with our Airbnbs. The Airbnbs, what has happened over the years is, as we've been getting more and more and more of them, the cleaning fees have been, and we're doing it all in house. The cleaning fees have gone off the chart, and what we've come to realize is that our cleaning ladies, okay, let's say that they go in, let's say 1 in 5 of the cleans that they're doing, they go in and they never really touched anything. So the cleaning on something like that, and the cleaning and doing a normal cleaning, let's say on a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, say 1,000 square foot unit, let's say it's going to take 4 to 6 hours. Well, about 1 in 5 of them, they practically didn't use the place. They slept there, or they only slept there. They're gone all day long doing touristy things. And so what happened after a while is, instead of charging us, when I say charging us, they're on the hour with us. Instead of them going in and saying, "Oh, okay, this one, we only need to spend 30 minutes in here to get this straightened out," well, they spend the whole 4 or 5 hours in there. And they did it over and over and over, to the point where they got us to the point where we didn't make the money that we should make to deal with the Airbnb issue, or the stuff that you got to do. I mean, there's a lot to it. I mean, you have to furnish these things, and you have to clean them, and you have to have the cleaning items, which cost money. We had a lot of detergent walking off, and we had a lot of toilet paper and stuff like that walking off. And I don't know, it just became too aggravating. So what we're going to do is we're just going to rent these. We're just going to run them out directly to yearly people. For the extra expense and the extra hassle, we'll make a little bit less. But all we're trying to do is carry these things they're in very very good locations. Most of them are either on water or across from water, that has Gulf access. So the prices are historically have been, over a long period of time, 10% appreciation or more. So that's our 401k. That's what we're doing. So we're basically we're running them as Airbnbs right now, and then we've got them up for rent on a yearly basis, and we're going to roll them out one by one is the plan. So again, 2 reasons. One, it's going to be less expense, and 2, it's less for us to have to manage, and hopefully it be less hassle. I don't know. Never really rented directly in Florida before. Did a lot of rentals up north before I came to Florida. So I got a lot of experience with how people act, but I don't have any experience here renting long term. We've only done Airbnbs up to this point. And who knows, maybe in a couple months I'll be back to saying, hey, the Airbnbs make sense. We need to manage it better. But with expanding and going into these additional marketplaces, we think it's worthwhile. So, one more thing. One of our competitors that's been in business way longer than we have been is, we find out that they're all the way up into Tampa from here. They're in Sarasota, Tampa, Bradenton, all the way up there. And we didn't know that until a couple days ago. I was doing some market research, which is cool, I guess. I don't know that it makes any difference, but it's kind of interesting. So we're going to move into those marketplaces. They service the same kind of marketplace that we do, which is kind of the luxury market, a high-end on the coasts, high rises and stuff like that. And we're going to see what it's going to be like to go up there. I know Sarasota, our concept works up there very well. Tampa is ginormous. This marketplace that we're in here is it surges to about 500,000 people in season. Tampa is in excess of 3 million people all the time. And then it surges. I don't know if it surges to 4 million. Honestly, I don't know if it goes from 2 to 3 million. I don't know. I've lived up there. My parents lived in Clearwater, in Largo for a while. And I was up there for a little bit at one time for like a year. So I like it up there. I think it's beautiful. I think all the coast is beautiful. So anyway, that's all I got for today. Remove It Pros Demolition, and what we're doing is we are chronicling our journey into scaling this one location that we have into multiple locations and going through the state of Florida. Ultimately, adding value to everybody who wants to learn how to do the demo in the junk removal business. So that's it. Have a good day.